Good afternoon. Well, we are in the garden this afternoon, taking a look at the roses that we have. This is probably the oldest rose bush that I have in the yard. It was one of the first that we planted when we purchased the condo, and it's been various sizes. We cut it back, up, down, and I absolutely love it. It's actually award winning in our annual exhibition that we have here at the island. I've entered it in numerous categories, from bloom in a bowl for the kids to bloom progression from bud to open flower, and it's won a number of awards, so I'm quite happy about that. But what I want to do is take a look around and see some of the rose propagation techniques that we've been experimenting with over the last year or so. So I'm going to start at this side. We'll get a little bit of a garden tour. This is a rose cutting that we're propagating, and you'll notice this is actually the bottom part of a sparkling water bottle. And if I pull it up, you'll see that there's actually a cutting that we put some rooting powder on and put into the garden last fall, and it actually has taken rather well. The leaves are still, basically doing photosynthesis and everything, and quite excited about how well it is doing. So I have this on it for humidity, and of course we are still in the midst of winter, even though the weather is today I think we're in the low 70s. Additionally, we also are dealing with lots of rain. The temperatures sort of go up and down, and of course the windstorms. But this is rather protected. And I have it here because of the fact that this rose I think is more of a climber, and I am looking at perhaps putting a bit of a trellis in this area, because we generally don't use this area of the garden because of the fact that we have the box and such. So we might do something around that. Then again, I might actually dig it up and put it somewhere else in the garden. I'm going to go off topic for just a tiny bit of time, because look what I saw when I was walking around the garden. Yes, we have our passion flower vine that we have in honor of one of our friends and former band members who passed away. We planted it in his honor, and it's growing from over on the other side of the wall, and now it's come up and is growing into our yard, and it's absolutely beautiful. So let's walk over here to our little seating area under the tree, and here we have a few examples of our propagation experiments. First and foremost, we have these little ones in containers, and most of these were started at the end of the summer, and will be planted in various places at my father's house and here. And you can see that, in some cases we have new leaves that have been growing. These ones I've actually have names. This is a hybrid single red, so I'm kind of excited about that. I don't have any single reds, and this is doing rather well. This is all new growth, so that's exciting. This one right here, I lost the label for, and well, we're going to be playing guessing games because it looks like the rain washed off a couple of the labels and such. But most of these, as I said, were from last summer, and they are doing rather well. Most of them are in pots. The soil is kept rather damp, and we have quite a few. This one looks as if, yep, it's still green, and there's some leaves in there as well. And then we have our garden-based cuttings, and for them we have this is another one, and it's doing rather well. You can see the leaves are looking really good. And this is an area where I'm really excited. I had a red leaf hibiscus there, and I decided I wanted something more permanent on that corner. And then we have one in a grow bag, and this one is doing really well. Oh, there's a weed there. But again, it looks as if it's developed have some new leaves coming up there. So that's rather nice. And excuse the chicken wire. We've had to put chicken wire over the chicken coop to keep the sparrows out. And then again, we have a few in various locations along this side garden. And there's one here, and we have one we'll see at another end. This was a cutting from my mother-in-law's Agrippina rose bush, and we put this in a couple of years ago, and it's blooming profusely. All year it just blooms. So here we are in February. It was looking like this in January as well, and again started from a cutting. And look at that gorgeous rose. So another one from our experiment here. And as you can see, this one we can take the top off, and we have the humidity being kept in. So we're really excited about that. And if I were to pick that up, this one is not doing as well. So we might actually lose this one. But again, it is an experiment. So, we don't expect that we're going to have 100% success. Indeed, yesterday when I went through everything, we had lost 2. This is a rose from a cutting that was planted last May, I want to say. So this is how much growth we've had on this shell rose from last May. And, you can see that it's next to our pawpaw tree, and the rose bush that we developed it from is this one right here, which I purchased at a boys brigade sale. And this was in a gallon pot when I purchased it last year, and you can see how much it's grown, and I've had many roses. Chances are I will put this into garden at some point in time, but right now I'm quite happy where it's located. Over here we do have 2 roses, 2 climbing roses that are going up this trellis, and I have been pruning those. And then I think I have a 3rd climbing rose in this area. We used to have a little white pet in here, and what we've been doing is replacing it because I found it very difficult to deal with. We still have the little white pet in the backyard that's growing over the frangipani. And then finally, we have a few in this area. And let's take a look at what we have here. I had an Agrippina in this area for a very long time. And oh my goodness, look at the leaves on this one. This one looks like it's taken as well. So we have one here. Usually this is a very bare area when the Easter lilies have died back. So I'm looking at, this is sort of that your layer planting, so that when the Easter lilies are spent, there will be a rose bush there. And then next to that we have some daylilies. And then we have a climbing rose back here. And I think this is another cutting that my mother-in-law did provide. So we're really excited about, all of the rose cuttings this year. I've been trying to, try different methods to propagate the roses so that, there is the ability to utilize them in various places within my garden, within gardens for family members and such. And, if you think about how much money you spend on a rose, the ability to propagate it means that, that those funds can be, put into something else. So thanks for joining me. I'm now going to go and water the garden before we get into this evening's activities. Have a great one, and I'll see you later, most likely when we start planting seeds for sunflowers and probably even snapdragons. Have a great one. Bye.